Do you keep waking up at night no matter what you try? It's not just aging, it's a simple mistake almost everyone makes before bed, and the fix isn't a pill or a gadget. It's as easy as changing what you drink. If you're over 60, your body's chemistry shifts. What used to help you sleep may now keep you awake. But here's the good news. With one simple swap, you can calm your nervous system, balance your hormones, and finally sleep deeply through the night. In this video, I'll walk you step by step through the real reason your sleep gets disrupted and the exact drink that can reset your nights starting tonight. Stay with me to the end, because I'll also show you how to make this work every single day without guesswork. Most people assume that waking up at night is just a normal part of aging, something inevitable once you cross your 60s. But what if the real problem wasn't age at all, but something far simpler and easier to correct? For years, many adults have been told that drinking more water is the key to good health, and while hydration is critical, the timing and type of fluid you take in before bed could be the very reason you're wide awake at 2 or 3 in the morning. The body is designed to restore itself while you sleep. Your brain clears out toxins, your muscles repair, and your hormones rebalance. But the process depends on staying in deep, uninterrupted sleep cycles. The moment you disrupt those cycles, whether through waking up to use the bathroom or through subtle shifts in hormones triggered by the wrong drink, you lose the healing effect of the night. What makes this more hidden is that the impact is gradual. It doesn't happen overnight. At first, you may notice a bit of grogginess in the morning or the occasional restless night, but over time, these interruptions build up into a cycle of fatigue, cravings, irritability, and slower recovery. The brain becomes less sharp, the immune system weaker, and even metabolism starts to struggle. For many people, this problem sneaks in so quietly they don't connect it to what they're doing before bed. They assume they just can't sleep like they used to. The truth is, one simple change, what you drink in the evening, can often make all the difference. When you drink plain water at night, especially close to bedtime, it doesn't just hydrate you. It activates the kidneys and bladder, pulling you out of deep sleep and forcing your body into alertness at the exact time you need calm. And even if you don't always wake to use the bathroom, the body still registers that stimulation internally. The nervous system becomes slightly more active, heart rate and breathing shift, and the brain can't descend into the restorative stages of sleep. This is why so many adults wake feeling like they slept 8 hours, yet still feel drained, because the quality of the sleep was compromised. Hormones also play a big role in this hidden problem. After 60, natural levels of melatonin and growth hormone decline. These are the very chemicals that help your body slide into deep, restorative sleep. When they're already low, even small disruptions from the wrong drink can push you over the edge into restless nights. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can also rise if your body senses imbalance or digestive discomfort. That's why even something as small as late-night sipping can set off a chain reaction that leaves you tossing and turning. The mistake most people make is assuming that because water is healthy during the day, it must also be the best choice at night. But your body's needs shift dramatically after dark. Think of it this way. During the day, water keeps your circulation, energy, and metabolism running smoothly. At night, however, the body's priority isn't energy production, but repair and recovery. The fluids you take in should support that repair, not interrupt it. Plain water doesn't offer minerals or compounds that relax the nervous system, calm the muscles, or steady hormone balance. Instead, it adds to the workload of the kidneys and bladder, essentially telling the body to stay busy when it should be winding down. This simple disconnect, what's good in the day being less good at night, is the overlooked cause of so many sleepless nights. The hidden problem, then, isn't that you're incapable of sleeping well after 60. It's that your nightly routine may be sending your body mixed signals. You want rest, but your body receives stimulation. You want stillness, but your organs are nudged into activity. Until this is corrected, you'll continue to face broken nights, foggy mornings, and the slow decline that comes with chronic sleep loss. The encouraging news is that once you identify the mistake, the solution is straightforward. The right bedtime drink can switch your body from alert mode into repair mode, allowing you to move smoothly into the deep, uninterrupted sleep that restores energy, sharpness, and vitality. Sleep has always been important, but once you cross 60, it becomes absolutely critical to your health, your energy, and your ability to enjoy life fully. At younger ages, the body is resilient. You can stay up too late, drink a bit too much coffee, or wake up in the middle of the night without it derailing your entire week. But as the years go by, the margin of error gets smaller. The body depends more heavily on deep, restorative sleep to repair cells, regulate hormones, and maintain sharp memory. Missing that sleep doesn't just mean a groggy morning. It sets off a ripple effect that touches every system in your body. That is why addressing sleep problems isn't something to put off until later. It matters now more than ever. When you don't get consistent rest, your energy drains away faster. Activities you once enjoyed, like walking with friends, cooking meals, or even simple hobbies, begin to feel like chores. The mind dulls, making it harder to focus, remember names, or stay engaged in conversations. And while many people chalk these changes up to normal aging, much of it actually comes from chronic sleep disruption. Every night of broken sleep slowly chips away at vitality. The good news is that correcting the root issue can restore much of what was lost. Another reason it matters right now is how deeply sleep ties into your long-term health. Studies consistently show that poor sleep raises the risk of heart disease, diabetes, weight gain, and even memory decline. For someone in their 60s, these risks become much more real. Your body no longer bounces back from stress the way it once did, so missing out on rest makes you more vulnerable. By protecting your sleep today, you're protecting your independence, your mobility, and your ability to stay sharp as the years progress. You're not just chasing a good night's rest, you're investing in the health of your future self. There's also a hormonal angle that makes sleep particularly important after 60. Hormones like melatonin, which guide the body into sleep, naturally decline with age. Growth hormone, which repairs muscles and tissues, also falls sharply. Without quality rest, these hormones drop even further, making recovery slow and energy low. Add to that the rise of cortisol, the stress hormone, when sleep is poor, and you end up in a vicious cycle. This is why older adults often describe feeling tired yet wired, exhausted, but unable to fully relax. Solving the sleep issue breaks this cycle, lowering stress, boosting recovery, and bringing balance back to the body. What makes the timing so urgent is that every year you continue with poor sleep, the harder it becomes to reverse the damage. Patterns get entrenched, hormones become further imbalanced, and the risk of chronic illness grows. On the other hand, when you start improving sleep now, even in simple ways, the benefits are immediate. Energy lifts, mood brightens, and mornings feel lighter. People often notice they can think more clearly, move more easily, and enjoy their days more fully within just a short time. The turnaround can be surprisingly fast, but only if you take action before the problem becomes too deeply rooted. And there is something else to consider: life itself. The years after 60 should be about freedom, connection, and joy. This is the time to travel, to spend more time with family, to learn new skills, or simply to savor peaceful mornings. But all of that depends on how well you sleep. Without good rest, the desire for those activities fades, and even when you push yourself, you can't fully enjoy them. By reclaiming your sleep now, you reclaim not just your health, but the quality of your daily life. So why does it matter now? Because sleep is the foundation for everything else you want in this season of life. Every hour of deep, uninterrupted rest you get is like putting money back into your energy bank. It restores focus, repairs the body, and stabilizes emotions. Without it, the years ahead can feel like a slow decline. With it, the years ahead can feel vibrant, alive, and full of possibility. The urgency is clear. This is not just about tonight's sleep, but about the vitality of every tomorrow that follows. Falling asleep and staying asleep isn't only about what you add to your evening routine, it's just as much about what you avoid. Many people unknowingly sabotage their sleep by doing things in the hours before bed that seem harmless but actually keep the brain wired and the body restless. At 60 and beyond, the body becomes even more sensitive to these disruptions. What once didn't seem to matter, a cup of tea late at night, a quick email before bed, or a sugary snack, can now be the difference between drifting into deep rest or staring at the ceiling for hours. Avoiding these triggers doesn't require drastic changes, but it does require awareness and a little discipline, especially if you want to give your body the best chance at healing sleep. One of the most important things to avoid before bed is caffeine. While younger adults may drink coffee or tea late in the day and still fall asleep, older adults process caffeine much more slowly. That means even a small amount can linger in the system well into the night, quietly blocking the brain's ability to release adenosine, the chemical that signals sleepiness. Hidden sources of caffeine, such as chocolate, green tea, or even decaf coffee, can still deliver enough stimulation to disrupt rest. For most people over 60, cutting off caffeine completely after midday is the safest way to prevent nighttime restlessness. Equally disruptive is alcohol. It might feel like a glass of wine relaxes you before bed, but the reality is that alcohol fragments sleep. It may help you fall asleep faster, but it prevents you from reaching the deeper stages of rest where true restoration happens. The result is waking up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning, or feeling groggy in the morning despite having been in bed for hours. As the body ages, its ability to metabolize alcohol declines, making its impact on sleep even stronger. If quality sleep is your goal, avoiding alcohol in the evening is one of the most powerful choices you can make. Food also plays a role in how well you sleep. Heavy meals close to bedtime force the digestive system to work overtime, raising body temperature and diverting energy away from rest. Spicy or greasy foods can cause indigestion or heartburn, which tends to worsen when lying down. Even something as simple as a late-night snack with refined carbs or sugar can spike blood sugar and trigger a crash later in the night, waking you up when your body should be deep in repair mode. For older adults who are already more prone to blood sugar fluctuations, this effect can be particularly disruptive. A lighter dinner, finished at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, gives your body the space it needs to transition naturally into sleep. Another hidden disruptor is blue light from screens. Phones, tablets, televisions, and computers all emit a strong artificial light that tricks the brain into thinking it's still daytime. This suppresses melatonin production, the very hormone that signals the body to wind down. For someone over 60, when melatonin levels are already lower, this suppression can be devastating to sleep quality. The simple act of scrolling through a phone before bed may be enough to delay sleep for an hour or more. Replacing screens with softer evening routines, like reading a book, listening to calming music, or practicing gentle breathing, can make a remarkable difference. Stressful activities before bed also need to be avoided. Reading upsetting news, paying bills, or engaging in arguments flood the body with cortisol, the stress hormone, right when you should be lowering it. Elevated cortisol keeps the mind racing, making it nearly impossible to transition into rest. This is especially problematic for older adults who may already experience higher baseline cortisol at night due to changes in circadian rhythm. Protecting your evening from unnecessary stress is one of the simplest and kindest gifts you can give yourself for better sleep. Lastly, many people overlook the effect of bright overhead lighting. Just like screens, these lights send the wrong message to your brain. Exposure to strong artificial light late in the evening confuses your internal clock and delays melatonin release. Dimmer, warmer lighting, like lamps or candles, creates the right environment for winding down. Think of it as setting the stage for sleep. When the environment tells your brain that night has arrived, the body follows naturally. When you put all of this together, it's clear that avoiding certain habits before bed is just as important as creating healthy ones. Skip caffeine after midday, avoid alcohol in the evening, finish eating earlier, limit blue light, reduce stress, and dim the lights. These small adjustments add up to a powerful shift, especially when practiced consistently. The body, particularly after 60, thrives on rhythm and predictability. By removing these obstacles, you allow your natural sleep systems to work as they were designed. What you avoid before bed may ultimately be the key that unlocks the deep, uninterrupted rest you've been missing. The path to deep, restful sleep often lies not only in what you cut out of your routine, but in what you choose to put in its place. Once you clear away the stimulants, heavy foods, and distractions that disrupt your night, the next step is to find a better nighttime choice that supports the body's natural rhythm. The truth is, your body is always looking for balance. It wants to be calm, it wants to rest, and it wants to repair itself. Sometimes all it needs is the right nudge in the right direction. That's where making a deliberate choice in the evening becomes. Each of these better nighttime choices works not because they force sleep, but because they support the body's natural design. The body already knows how to rest deeply. It simply needs the right conditions. When you remove the obstacles and add the right choices, you make it easier for that built-in system to work. For someone over 60, when sleep becomes more fragile and easily disrupted, this distinction matters greatly. It's not about tricks or shortcuts. It's about aligning with what the body already wants to do. In the end, the better nighttime choice comes down to intentionality. Instead of letting habits or convenience dictate your evening, decide to give your body what it truly needs. Whether it's a calming drink, a peaceful environment, the right bedding, or mindful breathing, these small choices add up to a powerful shift. They transform nights from restless and fragmented into restorative and energizing. And when you begin to experience that kind of sleep again, everything in your day improves. Your mood, your focus, your energy, and even your long-term health. Better nights create better days, and it all begins with the simple decision to make a better nighttime choice. The true test of any health habit is not whether it works in theory, but whether it can be applied daily without stress, confusion, or complication. A habit only creates results if it's repeated consistently, and consistency is built on simplicity. This is why the key to better sleep isn't just knowing what to do, but learning how to do it easily, night after night, until it becomes second nature. Daily application doesn't have to mean rigid routines or overwhelming schedules. Instead, it's about creating small, repeatable steps that gently guide the body into rest and repair mode without struggle. When applied this way, better sleep becomes something you look forward to rather than another chore on your list. The first step is to prepare earlier in the day. Many people wait until bedtime to think about sleep. But the reality is that your night is shaped by your choices throughout the day. Start by setting a simple hydration schedule. Drink most of your fluids in the first half of the day and taper down as evening approaches. This way, you stay hydrated but reduce the chance of waking up at night to use the bathroom. By making hydration a daytime focus, you are already setting yourself up for more peaceful, uninterrupted rest. Next comes the evening transition. Think of the hours before bed as a runway, not a cliff. Instead of abruptly crashing into bed after hours of stimulation, allow yourself a gradual wind-down period. This could be as simple as dimming the lights an hour before bed, turning off bright screens, and choosing an activity that calms rather than excites the mind. Light stretching, listening to soft music, or reading something soothing can serve as anchors. The easier the activity, the more likely you are to repeat it daily. Over time, your body begins to associate this pattern with the signal, it's time to sleep. Incorporating a calming drink into your nightly rhythm makes application even easier. Rather than simply avoiding water, replace it with a warm, soothing option like chamomile tea, lemon balm tea, or a magnesium-rich drink. Keep it simple. Prepare it the same way every evening, perhaps even in the same cup, so the act becomes a ritual. Humans are creatures of habit, and these small rituals help train the mind and body to shift gears. Soon, just holding that cup signals your system that sleep is on the horizon. Another simple way to apply these habits daily is to build your sleep environment in advance. Don't wait until you're already tired to adjust your bedding, cool the room, or find a comfortable position. Instead, set up your bedroom as a sanctuary earlier in the evening. Lay out breathable sheets, make sure the room is dark, and adjust the temperature to a cooler range. By preparing your environment beforehand, you remove friction later on. You make it effortless to step into a space that already supports rest. Breathing practices are another tool that become easier with daily application. You don't need to devote 30 minutes to them. Even 5 slow, deep breaths can calm the nervous system. To make it simple, tie the practice to an existing habit, like right after brushing your teeth or right after turning off the lights. This way, you don't have to remember or force it. It becomes automatic, woven into your evening flow. Over time, these breaths will train your body to drop tension quickly, making the shift into sleep feel natural. The most important part of daily application is to keep it light. If the routine feels heavy or complicated, you won't keep it up. But if it feels soothing and rewarding, it becomes something you anticipate. That's why it's important to choose options you enjoy. If chamomile tea doesn't appeal to you, try lemon balm or warm almond milk. If reading puts you to sleep, do that. If stretching makes you feel better, choose that instead. The details don't matter as much as the consistency. What matters is creating an easy flow that signals safety, calm, and rest to your body every single night. When applied daily, these steps build momentum. At first, you may notice only small improvements. A deeper stretch of sleep here, a less restless night there, but as the days stack up, the improvements compound. Sleep cycles stabilize, energy in the morning increases, and the body begins to repair itself more effectively. For those over 60, this is not just about sleep. It's about protecting cognitive health, stabilizing mood, supporting the immune system, and preserving vitality. The beauty of daily application lies in its simplicity. By focusing on a few small, intentional choices, hydrating earlier, winding down with calm activities, replacing water with a better nighttime drink, preparing your environment, and practicing simple breathing, you remove obstacles and allow the body's natural wisdom to take over. These aren't dramatic changes, but they are powerful in their consistency. Over time, they reshape your nights and transform your days, proving that better health doesn't come from drastic measures, but from small, daily actions done with intention.